There we go. All right. Timestamp September 4th, 2025, 7:48 p.m. Yes, Mr. Acorn. We're gonna go on a little trip out into the backyard. Tanner? Okay. He was sitting in the kitchen staring at me, kind of with a no look in his eyes. So, done playing with you. Alright. I feel much better. So I got up at... You're not in this conversation. Got up about 11 a.m. and I did a little bit of stuff and things, nothing major at all. Mostly just caught up on my dailies, on my video games. Checked my emails, checked my mail, that kind of stuff. Of course, now I start to cough. And realized by around 1 p.m. that I was incredibly droopy. Funny. Yeah, keep looking over there. Yeah. Swing and a miss. And again, I'm rooting for the rabbit. Oh, it's on. I don't want him to catch the bunnies. I don't even know what he'd do. You know what I mean? I really don't. I don't know if it would just be, hey, these are fun to play with. He's not really like an aggressive guy, so I don't know. But 1 o'clock. I had gotten very little done, except for like self-satisfaction things. Don't go there. And just didn't care. I was droopy. And I know a lot of it was the fact that the past 3 days, whatnot, we've been slugging it out in the workshop in what's probably 100 plus degrees. And I think it just sapped me. I think my body was just like, what are you thinking, Marcus? No. Nope. So I took a nap, thank you. But yeah, I took a nap for like probably 3 hours. Something like that. Had some Tom Baker on the telly. We were doing, Brain of Morbius was on at one point. I think Metros was on as well. Those are kind of the two that were on from the start of my nap to the finish of my nap. Yeah, I think Metros was just starting, and when I got up, Brain of Morbius was like halfway through. But yeah, my body just went, nah. Yeah, what are you thinking you're going to get done? But now I'm very awake, which is good, because I can work through the night. Ooh, another bunny. I don't think that's the same one. I think they're playing with you, which I think is hilarious. That one was smaller. Hassenpfeffer. But yeah, my list is huge. It's huge. I might make some soup. Yeah, I don't know. Where'd the bunny go? Oh. I know exactly where the bunny is right now, but I'm not going to tell him out. So, I've got dishes to do. I've got laundry to do. I've got a workshop that I gotta dig through some more of. A kitchen with boxes stacked everywhere, which annoys me so much. So much. I cannot express to you how much that annoys me. And I did it to myself. I did, and that's okay, because I can fix it. I've gotten in a bunch of the clear plastic totes with the like latches. You can kind of fit like two loaves of bread in them pretty comfortably, that kind of size. My dog's a saint. Got a lot of the debris taken care of. In the backyard, we had like trash spread out everywhere. We got it mostly bagged and by the gate, which is good. A little bit, that was yesterday. That is what Alex was working on. We're not debris free, don't kid yourself. We still got lots of debris, lots of snakes and critters for the kids to play with. Actually, the line is snakes and lizards, I think. Got lots of snakes and lizards for the kids to play with. Come on down. Sandworms. You hate them. I hate them too. Has an opinion. Got trash to go out. That's my list. Very small. Like 20 things on it. Hey, Tanner. Yeah. I hate to sound like a jerk, but guess who's not getting a cookie? Uh-huh. And you're going to watch Acorn get a cookie because he went outside. Didn't you? There you go, bud. You can eat. Yeah, you got a piece of beef jerky. What happened there? My dad untaught you. And we try and force you outside and you don't want to go. The running theory is my dad... Okay, so there were the 2 Chihuahuas trip he passed a couple weeks ago. Which is very sad because he was a sweet old dog. But my dad would carry Trip around. So the theory is that my dad would take the Chihuahuas out, do their business, and because my dad would Paris Hilton Trip, he knew that he had Trip inside. And my dad would accidentally leave Tanner outside for hours all day. So he's now scared to go outside because he doesn't want to get left behind. So we think that my dad has, through trauma, taught him not to go outside. So instead he makes messes wherever he chooses to make messes. And my dad at one point had puppy pads down everywhere. We've got a couple down. And sometimes he uses them and sometimes he does not. And we force him to go outside sometimes, and he does run from it. But I know on at least 2 occasions when Pix and I were here helping my dad, and this is, completely the dementia thing, we know that. We'd see Trip running around, we're like, where's Tanner? And my dad would be, who? Tanner, you have 2 Chihuahuas. Oh, he's around here somewhere, and we'd look around the house and not find him, and then we'd find him in the backyard, panting, out of breath, or he'd be standing by the back door. At least 2 occasions, one of each. One, he was just kind of running around the yard, and when he heard the door, he came running. When we asked my dad, how long ago did you guys go out? And this is like 5 o'clock p.m. And he's like, oh, we went out around sunrise. So That little guy was outside for 8, 9 hours in Florida with no water, no food. So, to a degree, we understand why he might be like outside. No, because I get left. We haven't done it to him. But I understand if that's part of where his thing is. But, so now we're trying to break him of that mindset, belief system. I don't even know what to classify it as. But my dad basically feared him out of house training. So I'm not sure how we're going to handle this as we move forward. Because we're trying to work with him, but at the same time he's frequently flipping us off with his eyes. You want to go outside? You know, that's pretty much where we are on that. I'm not going to play games with you. Nope. You know, if we have to set up a nice industrial fan on the lanai, once we get it finally clear and fixed, we set up a nice industrial fan and have a couple of bowls out there in a kind of a doghouse, we'll do that. Because if I'm getting this house undestroyed, I'm not going to have you running around destroying it behind my back. That's just not how this is going to roll forward. My dad's destroyed enough. We're not going to allow that in the future. I'm done with that. So done with that. And I say that because every time I turn around doing stuff, going through stuff here, I see more and more things that are out of control, broken, half fixed, and it's like I'm cleaning up after my parents. I'm not going to clean up after my parents' dog for the next 2 years. Nope. That is that last straw, you know. James is doing fairly well. I've managed to touch him a little bit. I did get hissed at once. So, you know. Very, very taming of the shrew energy over here. I have a feeling we're going to be friends, but it's going to take a minute. He's had a rough go of it. But I want to be his friend, you know. He's very chill. I did order a ramp for the litter robot on the idea that in the next week or two, he's going to be free to roam the building, so to speak. Going to get him out of that crate. Right now, we've still got him kind of quarantined because the wound is healing up pretty well. Really is. It looks good. You know, as good as an amputation scar can look, I think. But because he is still healing, I don't want him being roughhoused with, you know, that's for his own protection. And making sure that he gets fed and watered without being bullied out of the way. Because I don't know that he'd put up with it, but I think at the same time he's going to have a harder time kind of fighting for himself a little bit. I know he's going to be resilient. I think he's going to surprise me a lot, but there's also that aspect of just looking out for him on this one. I know he wants his freedom, though, because, you know, I'll open the crate door to put food in, water, change his box, whatnot, and he'll kind of inch towards it like, I'm a little unsteady on 3 paws. Do I think I could make it? You know, like gauging the timing of it. So I get it. And I wouldn't want to be, you know, fenced in. He's got a luxury setup. The crate, it's like big enough for a German Shepherd or two to lay down. You know, it's huge. But, you know, he's a cat. He wants his freedom. I think I showed you this. I did finally get in one of the cereal containers. It's hand-grown plastic from Vietnam or something. I think it takes a while to make them. I don't know why they ship these things so slow. That one was a Walmart order. It got here in about 4 or 5 days. Jinx, please stop that. He's dragging the water bowl across the floor. That one took 4 or 5 days to get here. The one I ordered on Amazon was about 2 months ago, and they keep sending me notifications saying it's been delayed. And it's like, yeah, I know it's been delayed. I should have had it within a week, and it's been over 2 months. Really? It's been delayed? No. Say on. Got a whole bunch of, my parents had a whole bunch of, like, more the bread box style shoebox. I think they're called shoebox totes, plastic totes. And we've been finding them everywhere, and they're all dusty and grimy and stuff. Pardon. I probably found 10 or 15 of them. And some that are kind of the next size up. They're not the really great latching ones, but they're still decent. But they're dusty, grimy, oily. Some of the ones were from my dad's workshop, and some of them are kind of nasty. But we're going to hose them off and reuse them in ways that make sense, you know. Because that'll be useful. We're always looking for storage around here. And again, I had some cereal when I got up the first time. When I got up the second time, I went ahead and heated up one of the sausages because I made a whole bunch of the ghetto sausages. Had that with some mustard and onions on it. Because I had olive oil, like hard fried some onions to where they were real liquidy almost, you know. And zero spoilage. Second season of Wednesday, excellent. Loved it. Can hardly wait for the third season, and I know I'm gonna have to. But I'm loving what they're doing. It's the perfect IP for Tim Burton to play with. It's totally within his speciality, his wheelhouse. I'm so happy that he's on the project because, yeah. And the whole cast is just mind-blowingly good. Really nice work. And as a Lupine, it's nice to see Enid being like a major star in the show. You know, being principal cast and all that. That's cool. My last name is Wolfking. Lupine Pride. Yeah, I've got 12 things on this list. Some of them are just 10-minute, 30-minute jobs, and some of them are, this is an ongoing thing, you know. This is a 2-week job, but work on it, you know. One brick. That's what we're dealing with, one brick. The philosophy of, you know, mountains get moved in shovelfuls. One brick. Every day, if we do one brick, eventually the mountain will be gone. It's finite. But it looks really big when you're standing in the damn valley. But I'm probably going to call it here. I'm going to do another probably recording once I actually get in the warehouse. I keep calling it warehouse, workshop. I'm kind of setting it like a warehouse, pretty much. Just trying to stack everything to one side, because there are so many one bricks to stack. I've got to do it safely and smartly. But first I'm going to take trash out because tomorrow's Friday. Make sure it's curbed. Check the mail while I'm down there. Dishes out, dishes in. See if I can consolidate the cardboard boxes. A lot of the boxes in the kitchen are empty now. I've already distributed what was in them. I've got those ammo hoppers because, yes, thank you. Yep. Because, of course I do. It's probably, I don't know how much bullets cost anymore. I've heard they're like $4 or $5, $6 each. I don't know if that's true or not. But one of the hoppers, I opened it and it said 225 rounds. They all look like the same type of ammunition. I'm not sure. I didn't take a close look. I just opened them and went, yep, they're bullets. I think Tiny found them yesterday while we were in the workshop. Because, again, might add, concealing guns, keys, important paperwork, ammunition, and shedding. That was one of the white ones. That one can go away. But yeah, every day we find something either valuable or bizarre hidden somewhere weird. Oh. True story. I've got a stack of like DVD players and cassette players and older stereo components. I've got a couple of turntables. I think I even found a couple of 8-track players. He was like stockpiling like entertainment system components. Some of them are older, and some of them are within the past 5-10 years. I'm not sure. I don't know, because where he had them stored, it's not like they were going to be accessible for garage sales, because that was one of the main things that my parents were doing or saying that they were attempting to do. And I know they did do some garage sales, but they spent the past 10 years really ramping up and accumulating for garage sales, and the amount of garage sales they were doing was diminishing greatly. So they're still buying as though they're doing like 2 garage sales a week or a month, and because they do a Saturday, Sunday, they do a weekend, they do like two a month, and they were, buying and selling accordingly. Well, they continued to buy, but then they weren't selling. They were doing like a garage sale every 3 months. And then it became like every 6 months. And then they did one in November, but that was the only one they had done all year, And then the past 2 or 3 years, they didn't do any. They did 2 that I know of. And neither one of them was here. They had hooked up with a friend who was doing like a big neighborhood garage sale, and they filled the truck, took stuff, set up a table, and brought back what they didn't sell. So in like a 2-3 year period, they did 2. But they were continuing to buy as though they were doing them. So they're already hoarders, and then they're, running a retail business where they're getting trucks every week, but they have yet to open the doors for customers. My friends in the retail world will understand this analogy. You're getting a truck every week, but you haven't actually opened the front doors in 6 months. Still getting that truck though. Where are you going with that merchandise? Eventually that warehouse is going to like pop at the seams. This is nightmare fuel for anybody in retail. Oh, what the DM will say. You need to get rid of this stuff. We need to open the door and sell. The way it disappears is it goes out the front door after they give us little green papers. If we're not open, it's in the warehouse. The shelves are already full. It's in the warehouse, and that's a finite amount of space. There's a limit. been here before. And it's terrifying. That's when you tell the DM to go to hell. We've had this happen before where storms have like closed us from a retail standpoint, but we're still getting trucks. And then the DM comes in and gets mad because you got all this product in the warehouse, and it's like, what path of mysticism do you follow? Because it sounds a lot cooler than the one that I've got going on. Because in my belief system, I have to wait for us to sell things for these things to go away. And clearly, you've got some other kind of voodoo or hoodoo going on that really, really works outside my understanding of, the laws of the universe. So please teach me, O wise one. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. And I'm going to do the interior stuff first before I go to the workshop, which is not a warehouse, which is kind of like a warehouse, but it's actually the workshop. And we'll see what happens there, yeah. Got a lot of electronic stuff to test, though, because we don't need 15 DVD players. We really don't. Really don't. We've already got a couple. 15? Seems like overkill. Yeah, one per person. Maybe a backup on the shelf in case one goes down. 15? My household's not that big. And I really don't know, because they were buried in his office in his workshop. And he was worried about EMPs, so it's not set up to be a Faraday room. So it's not like that was a safe room that would be shielded from the EMP the Chinese are going to attack us with. Yes. Yes, yes. And you know what? Hey, that is a legit possibility. If things were to escalate, stupid. Because that kind of thing would devastate the U.S. I mean, I can function with something called books, but I know a lot of people can't. If suddenly they didn't have Netflix, they're going to be walking in a circle talking to themselves, and I know that. But that's the world we've conditioned people to expect. So, but again, yeah, no, he's got them stacked up in his office, and it's like, well, this isn't set up to be a Faraday, so it's not like you were storing them here so that they would be safe after the EMP. Trying to think in his/their mindset, because there was a general paranoia going on. And they were kind of jumping on some of the Q rumors, if you follow me on that. My mom, as an example, was convinced that the Democrats were going to try and make her eat bugs, because she saw some kind of an anger cast on, I think it was Newsmax. I don't know, I looked it up because the whole thing was a farce. They made it up. But she believed it and latched onto it. And Nicole Kidman's in on it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. Yep. Yep. Cricket pie. That's what we're having. Nothing personal, Jimmy. I don't want Jiminy getting upset over here. He listens to my every word. For those that don't know, I have a Jiminy Cricket statue at Toy over here. He holds my rings and my hairbands. And he's very good at his job. I don't know. I'm energized and my normal psychotic self. So we're off to a good start for this morning that is not a morning, because it's now a little bit after 8 p.m. But my schedule's mine to make. So anyway, I'm going to call it here. I'll check in with you again later. Health-wise, Had a panic attack the first time around when I got up. That was part of what convinced me that, laying down, taking a nap, set your alarm for 2-3 hours, maybe that's good. Maybe your body is in every way telling you, stop. But yeah, no, I'm feeling good, energized, and a little bit angry just at what I've got to deal with. But that's kind of been my fuel for a while, actually. Because it didn't have to be this way. But people were too worried about the conspiracy of the fish people and not listening to their son. So, make it a great day.